Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on Inside the IFL. It's Doug Bosa. As always, I'm with Mr. Ed Ritter.
What's up?
Uh, what a special episode this one is. Bringing it to everyone live from the house. As I sit here on the birthday, doing what I got to do. Some people like to take vacations on birthdays and disappear on birthdays. Not me. I like to get the job done. Got people to please, things to do. So that's what I'm here to do.
There you go.
Got Alex, Mark Chisholm, Alvin J. Cotton. Those are the only ones I know of that have spoke so far in the chat. Unfortunately, that's a low number. I was expecting way more. Considering I get told time and time again, if you did shows later in the evening, more people would tune in. Well, we're getting about the same turnout right now as we would if we did this at noon. So hopefully more people tune in. Get a little mention in the chat. I'll give you a shout. If you haven't, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that too. The league is growing and growing. Owners, I've created a new channel today. It's season 2 rookies. Put that page up so you can go in there and you can talk to everybody who's got a contract in that's not officially on a team yet. You got AJ Cotton, Vernal Soul 1355, Seed Brock, Green Machine, SM Negron 25, Stephen Trump 82, Surfman, Whitaker Boy, and there's some others that are in there. I know I'm missing a couple of them. I'm thinking one is I don't remember, but all the owners are in there. So you get the opportunity to touch out to any of these guys, see what they're doing, see what they have as far as players go, and give them a talk to start preparing your big board, if you will, towards the draft. Some of these guys have 2 apps in, some only have 1, and maybe you could convince a guy, oh, you only have 1 app? Maybe you want to send in a second one because you're entitled to 2 guys, 1 on offense, 1 on defense, or 1 on offense or defense with a special teamer. Your choice. Anybody who's in the league now that's a non-star player, they can get added to the channel. All they got to do is reach out to me and say, hey, I want to have a star player next season. We can do away with your non-star guy, get you as a star player in the draft. So as of right now, I believe we have about 20 applications, I think, as a whole for the draft, and we're not even nowhere near draft time. So it's going to be a big draft.
Cool.
So might as well not waste no more time, and we might as well get to the reason why we're doing this show. Had some breaking news I want to announce the other day. We got sidetracked, didn't get a chance to spit it out, but it was fine. Nobody knew that there was going to be breaking news to begin with, so it was good to give us an announcement that people know was going to do this. So either way, I don't know if you want the honors to announce this, because you don't get to announce as much as I do.
Go ahead. It's your birthday, dude.
So this is my present from you. I get to make the announcement.
Yeah, unless you want me to make a trip somewhere.
Right. All right. Well, we here in the IFL do not fear work, do not fear anything. We're willing to take on all aspects of this simming community to do anything we can to improve the IFL. We take any and all suggestions, no matter how smart, no matter how stupid, no matter how entertaining, no matter how interesting. We analyze them all because it's as a unit we'll make this league better. Our on-field gameplay is second to none. That's undebatable as far as I'm concerned.
Very
so
true.
anything and everything we can to improve, we're going to improve. So it's been brought to my attention from numerous players and members and coaches and owners since we started this league if we were going to do something. I wasn't sure if we were or not. So if you paid attention to Slack this week, you saw me ask a very important question. If you were to take the current 8 teams and split them into 2 divisions, what would you do? And it's been pretty unanimous from the door that New York, Boston, Baltimore, and Philadelphia would be a group, with Carolina, Tampa Bay, Arizona, and Tokyo being a group. So that being said, when the playoffs are over, we're going to take a bye week, and then we're going to have the Victory Bowl, which is our championship game. After the championship game, we're going to have a 1-week waiting period. That's when we're going to announce the new 8 owners of IFL franchises. We'll announce the teams, announce their colors, their logos, all that good stuff. The week after that, which is 2 weeks after the Victory Bowl, you will see the gold versus the red, based on our colors, in the first ever IFL All-Star game. And the gold team will consist of Baltimore Bulls, the New York Cobras, the Boston Liberty, and the Philadelphia Flight. The Tokyo Kitsune, Arizona Outlaws, Tampa Bay Stallions, and Carolina Pack will be the red. We're going to vote on the players. Ed and I have decided we're going to get completely up on top of all these stats that we're behind on right now, because it's been a struggle getting those things done, especially with me constantly visiting the ER with health issues and things of that nature. So the goal is to play with the stamina slider. Right now, the stamina slider is 40 in our regular season games. If we have to drop that to 10, I don't care where it's going to be. We're going to do some testing. We want to slide that down to where every player gets tired faster at all positions, because we even want backups voted into the All-Star game. So we want to see a quarterback get tired so the backup comes in. We want to see the starting running back get tired, the guy comes in, all across the board. Now, we want to try and fill every position that we can in this All-Star game if we can do it. Here's the issue. We don't have any star offensive linemen. So, okay, that is what it is. We'll just figure that out. Now, the gold team, they happen to have enough players to put 4 defensive linemen on the field. The red team's only going to have enough for 3. So be it. That's the way it goes. Also, the gold team is the only team, is the Flight. They have a fullback. Nobody that's going to be on the red team has a fullback. Therefore, the gold team's going to get a fullback on that Pro Bowl, on that All-Star team by default. And that's just, again, the way it's going to go. And I'm going to get, as we get closer to the end of the season, we'll start putting up the polling. Every player's eligible. Every guy's eligible. All the way across the board. You vote honestly. Don't vote, oh, that's my teammate, I vote for him. Oh, he plays for me, I vote for him. No, legitimately vote who you feel 100% deserves to get in. And then we're going to make the announcement and do it like that. Can their level of play determine their start rating? Mighty ask. Could you elaborate exactly what you mean so I understand you properly before I try and answer that? Because if you're referring to their tier, we were going to just go with, if you get voted in and you're a gold, you're going to be a gold in the All-Star game. If you're a silver, you're going to be a silver in the All-Star game. You know, and I wanted to bring that up because I don't want guys voting for nothing but golds just so it's a gold-boosted All-Star team. You know, I mean, we've seen bronze players can dominate. We had the discussion the other day, you know, debating with speed, and it was brought up that Joey Falcone was a one-ability bronze linebacker in another league, and he was the best linebacker by far that season. So it's all a matter of scheme and everything else. And speaking of scheme, I'll get into that in a second. But, Ed, I ran by you my plans for the scheme. You're 100% on board with this, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think that's cool.
All right, so here's how the playbooks are going to work for the gold and the red. All 4 teams on each side have offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. So if you take Baltimore, TJ Johnston's calling the offense. Mighty calls the defense. Philadelphia, both sides is run by Chris Davis. Boston, Bo Davis is running the defense, and Marcus Bose is running the offense. New York has Taco Bose running the offense, and Mark Chisholm's running the defense. So all those coaches are going to have a say. So we were talking about it, and I'm deciding to go with the number 15 because it's in the middle of what we were thinking about. So all 4 offensive coordinators will get to select 15 plays for the playbook. All 4 defensive coordinators will also get to pick 15 plays. If you have any plays that overlap, that's going to happen. That's how it's going to be. So for people who showed up late, like Mr. TJ Johnston, we've just announced that at the end of the season, 2 weeks after the Victory Bowl championship game, we are going to have the IFL All-Star game. The gold versus the red. And the gold is Baltimore, Boston, New York, and I've just lost train of thought, Philadelphia. And the other 4 teams, Arizona, Tokyo, Carolina, and Tampa Bay, will be the red. And we're going to try and put in starters and backups into this game. So that's how it's going to be. Now here's the fun part. Here is the fun part. We want the All-Star game to have some kind of value. We want the championship game to have some kind of value. So it's already been announced in a prior Inside the IFL episode that whoever wins the championship game will host the championship game next year. So whatever 2 teams get to the championship this year, the winner will host the championship game in season 2. Their stadium will host it. Whoever loses in the IFL championship this season, their stadium will host this All-Star game as a secondary prize, so to speak. And that's going to be what we're going to do every season. Championship team host the next one. Loser of the championship game host the All-Star game. Simple as that. So it gives the championship game some value. The team that finishes in second, it has some value for them. It just makes it all interesting. Before anybody asks, both teams are going to wear red and gold. So what it's going to be is we're just going to make it real simple, real simple. The gold team's going to basically be gold on gold on gold with some red trimming. The red team's going to be red on red on red with some gold trimming. Both teams are going to have the letter I as their team logo for IFL. That's going to be on the helmet. So the gold team will probably have a red eye, and the gold team will have the red eye, and the red team will have the gold eye on the side of the helmet. And just some simple trimming, and it'll be real simple, real easy. Players will keep their height, their weight, their equipment, their abilities, their attributes. The whole 9 yards will be carried over into this particular Pro Bowl game, All-Star game. Ed wants to call it the All-Star game because we're not the NFL. So forgive me because I'm going to keep going back and forth until I get it stuck in my head. But
All-Star. Repeat it after me.
All-Star.
All-Star.
But so that's how it's going to work. And again, all coaches, if you're an owner and calling plays, that makes you a coach, have to submit 15 plays for this game. So everybody's involved that's a coach. Players are going to earn their keep. So I know we got some guys in the chat that are thinking this is cool. They like it and things like that. If anybody has any questions, feel free to fire them at me. Any thoughts, fire them at me. And while I wait, I'm going to go to Ed, so he can give us his thoughts and feelings towards this, because we've actually been discussing this since the season started, and we've just now decided we want to do this for sure, because why not? I mean, people have been wanting this kind of game for a while since I've been in this simulation stuff, and why not? Why can't we do it? I don't care if it's hard work. I don't care if it takes too much time to put into it. I'm prepared to do it, and as far as I'm concerned, these owners and players deserve it. So, Ed, take it.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Well,
because, there was someone else that did say that. They said that's why they're not doing it, because it's too much work and it's too hard. You know what? We're gonna prove to everybody that it's not. It's not that hard. It's just that they don't want to do it. Plain and simple.
That's all.
Yes. We want to do this because this is something that our league, our community as a whole has asked for, and you're going to get it. Get-go, since we've started the IFL, we have been asking the community, the league, whatever you want to call it, for everything and anything, suggestions, and they are part of this. They started asking this when we first started this league. Are we going to do this? Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? And like you said, we talked about it, like, I don't know. And then we talked a little more about it. Like I said, someone decided, oh, no, we're not doing it. We can't do it. That's when we said, oh, we're going to do it. So, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Because, I don't give a shit. I don't care anymore. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with the whole. I'm just done. I'm not going to get started, because if I do, we're going to be here a while. Because, like I said, I'm tired of the crap. So we're going to prove that we can do what we say we're going to do, and we're going to do it. Everybody's having fun. This is what they want. Why not give them what they want? Plain and simple.
That's the main reason why I'm doing it. The guys wanted it. I've had more than enough people come to me. Hey, can we do this?
Can we do this? Why can't we do this?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Like I said, I'm learning as we go every game. Every week, I'm learning something. I'm discovering more, figuring out more. So it's like, let me look into it. And I was like double checking the editor and things, looking at it. I was like, other than building the players and whatnot, this is not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And you know what? If these guys are taking the time each week to put in playbooks, these players are taking time each week to be active, you know, they deserve it. They deserve it. So I'm giving it to them, period.
You know, and you and I talked, and you told me, basically the only thing that's going to take the amount of time is doing the editor, building all the teams.
Right.
It's so if it takes a little bit of time, that's,
And I plan on doing a live feed as soon as I possibly can. I'm going to create the two teams, like the gold and the red, the uniforms, what they're going to look like. So guys have an idea what they're going to be. And it's, they're just going to have the NFL legends on the teams. It's just so you can get a look at the uniforms. Yeah. So, and Davis is asking, how did anybody feel about that video yesterday? Where it was discussing speed and speedrunner and things like that. If you haven't checked it out, go into this channel, find the video. It's right there. Listen to it. Get on Slack. Drop your opinion. Go ahead. I know you wanted to say something about it.
All right. Wait a minute. He says, also, I may have found some bad news for the 3-4 pass rusher. If you guys ever plan to create one. Okay. Let's see what he says about that. But anyway, I like, that he's trying to make the league better and trying to do stuff. I like where he's going. But at the same time, like I posted towards the end of that video, when we started this league, what did we say? Everyone that's in this league this year are rookies.
Yeah.
So they have to earn what they're doing, in my opinion. They have to earn their stripes, and they have to earn getting their levels up. I'm not just going to hand it to guys because somebody says, oh, we need to do this. Nope, not working it that way. Because these guys are rookies. We're going to have to, like you and I discussed, we're going to come up with a system where guys do get better year after year. But I also want a system where if guys do something, they get worse. Because we see it. We see how guys get better. We see how guys don't. And we're always talking realism. So we got to figure out what is the best way and not just go out and say, oh, we got to do this. No. I want to look into it. No, I'm just not. Like I said, I love the idea. I love where he's trying to go. But at the same time, I don't want to just say, oh, we got to do it just because people like it. Nope. I want realism.
Testing will be done for sure. There's no doubt about that. We'll be doing some serious testing. And I know in my talks with Davis, he has all kinds of plans on what he wants to test and what he wants to do. So he's already on the ball. He as far as I'm concerned, the feedback he's looking for is, do I waste my time running testing? Because if no one wants it, he's not going to waste his time. If guys are interested in presenting it, and then cool. And here's my thing. I think majority of the guys would love to see something like this work. But again, the first thing out of their mouth is going to be testing. We got to see it work. And that's what we did at the beginning of the season when we tested these sliders. Davis put in hours after hours messing with these sliders and putting things together to the point that I know he was going out of his mind, but he was enjoying what he was doing because he knew what this was going to do for the league. And it worked out beautifully for us. I mean, it gave us a great product to the point that, again, like I said, I'll take our product on the field against anybody's product. Right. I don't care of the system. I don't care if it's another 2K league. I don't care if it's Madden. I don't care if it's NCAA. I don't care. I look at these other games and these other leagues. Some of them have better graphics, better this, better that. Our on-field play is amazing. That's how I look at it.
He says, I'm not saying I want to do it because people like it. I want to do it because I want to balance the game.
Right.
I don't see where the game.
He just wants to add more value. He wants to add more value to certain positions because some people feel certain positions are useless, invaluable. Like they're like for me, I'll say it now. I don't like using defensive linemen. I think they're worthless. But when they're not worthless, they're insanely good. So that's why I call defensive linemen radio players. They're either on or they're off. I've never seen a defensive lineman have a so-so game. It's either a shitty game it can be or an amazing game. And to me, that's a risk reward that I'm not willing to take if I was an owner. But I think Davis is trying to set that up to where you want to have a defensive lineman because you don't have to have that fear anymore. You know, which is cool by me if we can figure out a way to make it work.
Right.
So that's where I'm good with it. You know, so I give him all the power in the world to run any tests he sees fit, anything he wants to try, anything he wants to do. I'm all about it, and I think it's great that that's what he wants to do.
Like I said, I like where he's going, but at the same time, I want to. It's got to me. It's got to be earned. It's got to be, because if we're going to keep preaching realism and this and that, just doing it whatever instead of finding a way for them to earn it is not realism to me.
Yeah, I'm looking for some more comments here in the chat so I can discuss them. Yeah. Yeah, it's where, like Mighty said, he feels they work. You just have to understand how they work,
Hold on
how
for just
to
a
use them.
I didn't do the radio show.
And I'll second Mighty's statement as far as tight ends go. I got penned that nickname, the tight end whisperer, for a reason. I figured out how to use tight ends. And I can make a tight end that is, shall we say, what am I looking for? Bronze? I'm confident I can take a bronze tight end and make him very good. I'm 100% confident in that because I believe I've done that. So, yeah, it's just a matter of what guys think. So I'm going to wait for some more feedback in here, see what other people think. Yeah, and like Schmitty just said, he thinks the right way to go is keep testing everything until we do it. 100% fact. And that's why we run test after test after test. And that gets tedious. But at the same time, without it, we don't have the product we're producing. So that's why I like it.
Okay, Chris says he's not just talking about speed. He's talking about more than that. Okay.
Right. Yeah, if you watch his video and read some of his posts, he goes into detail what he's getting at and how he's talking about it. So, it's a good video how he put it together. He really put some thought into it before slapping it together. So, again, if anybody hasn't listened to it, give it a listen. And get on Slack, drop your opinion and stuff like that. And just let things go. And one of the things I'll bring up, and he just happened to say consistency for quarterbacks. That's funny because I was going to go to quarterbacks. A lot of people are big on pocket presence.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't think pocket presence is as valuable as people think. The more and more I watch games in the IFL, because I see a quarterback just sit in the pocket for 3.5 months, reading Golf Digest and taking a shower and eating a sandwich, and he still can't find anybody open. And it's like, what the hell are you doing? And these are some of the quarterbacks who have pocket presence. They have the quick release on top of that. It's like, what the hell are they doing? Their intelligence level, I guess, is where we can go with that, is below standard, I would guess, would be the option. It's just entertaining to watch it happen. So, again, I don't know what to think of that. I don't know what opinion to drop on that. I just happen to see it a lot. And you see this in a lot of video games, not just in All Pro. So it's not an All Pro error. It's a video game error that we see a lot.
Jordan, why don't you help him?
So that is what that is. Seeing if we can get any more comments on that.
Yeah. Okay. But question is, how do you make them smarter?
That's the thing. That's where the testing will have to come in.
Because I don't think there is a way. Because I think that AI just is going to do whatever the AI wants to do.
Very well could. Very well could. You know, and that's where we'll have to figure it out by running these tests, just to see.
I mean, look what it does. You know, how often have we all complained because early in the first quarter, you know, it causes people to lose timeouts.
Yeah, the stupid bark them off. Oh God, that's rough.
Right.
So yeah, we see that one too many times. I'd love to figure out how to fix that.
Oh, to get rid of that. Yeah, if we can get rid of that, I'd be real happy. Because I know everybody hates that because that's just stupid. There's no reason for that early in the game, and for it to just there's just no reason for it.
Yeah, Davis is comparing strength to aggression, you know, because they have those as two attributes. You know, which one means what more than the other is where he's going with that, which makes sense to me. Again, that's where the testing is going to come in, and we're going to have to really figure it out. And that's where, you know, he'll do his due diligence and run tests, and eventually he'll find the answers. I'm sure of that, because he found the answers for us on stamina and other sliders. So, and nobody's complained. Everybody's happy with where the league's at right now and how gameplay goes. So, you know, it's
I agree with what Mighty just posted. You know, we don't want Robo quarterback out there, like you said, just automatically finds a camera. Yeah, that would kind of, yeah,
that would totally suck. Yeah, and the only thing that scares me the most about the whole idea is I'm afraid that by doing it, we'll almost have cookie cutter players.
Right.
If every player is this design or that design, every player is going to come out that way. If you follow what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest concern. So that's the only thing that's bothered me with it since we discussed it. So,
and he Chris posts, what if a defense coordinator never actually figures out how to use it? He says the D line. I mean, it could happen.
If we use realism, let's be honest. There's some coaches in the NFL who don't know how to do anything properly. You know, so that gives us realism right there. That's how I would look at that, to be honest. Maybe I'm crazy.
Nope.
But that's how I feel about that.
And he says you can't expect every game to be so pass defense heavy. That it itself is unrealistic.
Could be true.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I don't agree with that. Because I've watched teams. I watch high school teams. I watch college teams that's what their job. That's what they're built around. Their defense is stop the pass. It's pass heavy. The defense is that's how it's built. They do just enough, you know, but they're built on. They don't want to. So I don't agree with that.
I'm enjoying the discussion on this.
And I'm going to throw this out because he says the NFL. We're not the NFL. I don't want to keep comparing just because, you know, I don't know. I just don't want to keep saying, oh, NFL's doing this, doing it. We got to do this now. No. I just don't.
I get it. Definitely get all these arguments.
We got to find that. I guess, as we say, the happy medium.
Yeah, pretty much. Question is, does it exist?
That's what we got to do.
Does it exist? That's the thing we'll have to ask. Because if it don't exist, then what?
He says he's comparing the NFL to by a defensive scheme. Like I said, I I see high school teams around in this area where I live that do nothing but that's what they want to do. They want to stop the pass. That's their defensive scheme. I know there's college teams that are built to do nothing but stop the pass. That it's just how it is.
Yeah, it drives me crazy because that's one of the reasons why I stepped away from coaching high school football is because we are in a run-happy league, and every time I turned around, our defense was stop the pass, stop the pass, stop the pass. We have pure athletes on our team that can stop the pass one-on-one and man coverage, but we don't do it. So it just drove me insane. I just couldn't do it anymore. So, yeah. What's that? Okay. This is good discussion. It's definitely something we should get on the boards too. So people who didn't tune in tonight can get involved in this as well.
Great. Chris says, by the way, doing zone 24/7, ask teams what would happen if you tried that every game. You'd get murdered if you run into a quarterback that loves reading zones. And then Mighty responds with the NCAA run mostly zones because they lack the players to match up man-to-man. I'm going to agree with that.
And this is where the difference of opinion comes in, where everybody in a sense is right because it's their belief. You know, this is it's all opinionated things.
That's right.
So
no one's right, no one's wrong.
Right. We just got to find the happy medium that would make the league better. So I'm very curious as to what people think.
Yes, see, Mighty said, "Are you saying man doesn't work because he runs a ton of man?" And then Chris is, "I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not sure how I feel about man defense in this game."
I refer to the man defense as this, and I'll refer to man the same thing I do with the 3-4. I laugh at someone who says the 3-4 doesn't work because it does.
It does.
I've seen it, and I'll go on record now to give Ed his credit. A few seasons back in the SFL, when he took over the Bulldogs, Ed ran a 3-4 defense. And the one thing nobody realized, if you just took the games Ed coached and those only, the San Francisco Bulldogs would have been the second best defense in the league, and it was all 3-4. Had a couple nickels set in there and whatever. But the fact is, it works if you scheme it properly. And I think that's the case with everything. In fact, I've played with the game so much, I've messed with bear defense, and I get it to work. But if I don't have the proper build, you're getting toasted. And I think that's the way man coverage works. I think that's how 3-4 works. I think that's how all this stuff in this game works. If you don't have the right scheme, the right setup, the right players, the right abilities, the right players in place, even tier-wise, I think if a guy's just a little bit too slow, he's not going to work. Just my honest opinion. So putting that all into consideration, I think that's the way it goes. And I honestly think that's how it is. And, again, I could have everybody in the chat room drop their opinion on what I just said. Half could agree, half could disagree. Nobody's right. Nobody's wrong.
Nope. It's all opinion. It's all opinion on,
Well, here he's talking about the swing pass. He says you leave your defense in a great danger to the swing pass when you're going up against a team that loves giving the running back in the passing game. Well, one thing I'll say this. In the IFL, Swing City has never worked. It's not worked once. No defense has to fear Swing City. And right there, Mighty says get past your linebackers or play nickel or dime, to stop those, which is another good alternative. But, yeah. That's what I love about defensive coordinators calling their defenses. Because if you watch games, you'll see one guy in man a lot. You'll see another guy in 3-4 a lot. You'll see another guy basically go pro 4-3 all day long. You'll see another guy blitz. Another guy doesn't blitz at all. and it makes things interesting. That's why you got to prepare for each team differently in this league.
Right.
And I can't compare one defense to the other in this league. I think we have 8 totally different defenses.
I agree with that statement.
And by the way, I'm creating the uniforms for this All-Star game while we speak. And just for shits and giggles, I'm calling one the Philadelphia Eyes because Philadelphia is where I'm at, more or less, because I'm in Pennsylvania. And the other one I'm going to call the Ohio Eyes because that's where Ed's from. Until I figure out an alternative. So it is what it is, because that's the one thing I didn't consider when we wanted to do this, where we want to put the teams at.
Right.
So,
is there a way you can make the teams, this type of players, go with these type of coverage based off the players they have? That's a good question.
Holy, shut up.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Smitty put in there, is there a way you can make that's a good Let's see what he goes, yes you can to extent, but they are generic, so I don't rely on them as much as compared to silver gold. By the way, big up to you, 3-4 balling right now. Thanks guys. I appreciate that. It just don't ask me how I figured it.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of luck and a lot of trial and error, and I still don't think I've got it completely down yet, but I'm trying.
And I'll tell everybody what Ed said to me when he took over the Bulldogs that season. This team is in so much trouble. It's not going anywhere this season, no matter how hard I try. I can play with everything.
And that's pretty much what I did.
Figured out some 3-4 stuff. So that's what he went with. So, but again, it worked. And like I said, it works. And I think the pack, because you're running there. Are you running the 3-4 with the pack? Yes.
Yes, yeah.
So I want to make sure I'm not nuts. Jeez, my mind's just slipping with me. And I just turned 40 today, so I'm not all together in the head right now.
Oh, please.
I'm officially old.
Yes. At least that's what my kids tell me every day, and I'm going to be 44 in October. My kids tell me every day I'm old.
So yeah, it's depressing.
So, yeah.
That's exactly what I'm working on there, Muddy. I'm trying to do that right now.
Yeah,
I don't want nothing too elaborate.
That's what we talked about. I told him the same thing, Mighty. Keep it simple, something that you'll know what it is, and you don't have to go crazy. And yep, I agree.
Yep, that's what I'm going for.
We don't have to go nuts or go, all out. We'll just, make it somewhat decent and say, here we go.
Yep. Basic can be, but without them being stupid either.
Right.
That's basically what I'm going for here. And like I said, they're going to pretty much be carbon copies of each other as well. Just different colors.
Honestly, all this we're talking about basically comes down to you got to figure out what works and what doesn't. As far as play, as far as your abilities you put on your guys, what this, what that. That's basically what it all comes down to.
Yep. I'm enjoying the comments, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I like when guys.
Honestly, I can't wait because a lot of us around here, have been coaches or owners or whatever. I can't wait until we get this next group that's going to be getting these franchises, our expansion franchises, and some of them have never done anything. And see their opinions on stuff. Yeah. See what they figure out.
Right.
Because I will say this, and I'm not trying to scare any of you or whatever, but it is a headache. And every owner, every coach, will tell you it is a headache trying to figure out exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. And you got to keep working at it.
Why do you want to know?
Why do you want to know if 2 or 3 and have the users vote?
What I can do, and I think this would be a good idea, is make the uniforms pretty much within the confines of what I was going for, and then have everybody vote, how they make edits to what we have.
Could do that.
I think that makes a lot of sense. But yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I want guys to have some say. I always do. I want them to have some say in this and put out their information, their opinion, or whatever. And that's one of the ways they can do it.
Yep. Because that's one of the first things you and I talked about when we got into, we're going to do this. We're really going to do this. And we said we want the league, community, whatever you want to call it, we wanted them involved.
Right. Yep. I'm gonna take
so
a
far,
look at what
so far, I think it's we're doing a good job of getting them involved, and I think they're doing a great job of letting us know about this, about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think everybody feels like they belong and they have a voice, and
oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, I want them to feel they have a voice because they do.
that's right.
Yeah, they definitely have a voice.
How many times have we said without the owners and the players that are in this league, we wouldn't have a league.
Right.
Their league as much as it is ours.
Right.
But yeah, it sounds like just from reading everything, everybody's all excited about having a all-star game. Everybody's basically on board trying to figure out how to make things better, make things more realistic, and now all we have to do is figure it out, basically.
Right.
Okay.
What is that?
He wants prerequisite for ownership be that the potential owners have the game. Well, that would probably be a good idea. What do you think?
Well,
if you're gonna be an owner in this game or a coach, you probably need the game.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be a must. They have to have it, obviously. You can't do your edits each week unless you have the damn thing. So,
right.
Yeah. And that's going to be when it comes down to approaching the guys who end up in the top 8. I'm going to end up telling them, hey, here's the situation. And do you have the game? That'll be the first question.
Mm-hmm.
And they can turn it on.
Yeah, because like you said, if they don't have the game, I don't know how they're going to make their edits and figure out what plays they want. Because you can ask any owner, coach in the league now, the playbook that they have on this game is huge.
Yeah, just a bit.
It is massive, the amount of plays that you can choose from, and you have to check out. Oh, yeah.
And I do got to give Mighty hell for trying to use so many big words and confuse an old man like me. For a minute, I was like, wait, what? Then I realized what he was saying. Oh, yeah, that. I felt stupid.
Yes. Yes, you definitely got to have the game if you want to be an owner.
Yes. And I'm going to mention this. Once we go off the air here, I'm going to see if I can hook up the laptop and see if I can get this going. So guys can give a look quick, see of what I had put together. You know, like I said, to me, it's simple, it's easy, clearly red, clearly gold, simple enough. You know, guys have a good look at it. So hopefully I can get that popping up here in a minute. It'll be on the other channel because I have yet to actually set up. Maybe I can put the password and everything in to this channel. Because I have the login and password to this channel, of course. I just never installed it in the in my what you call it, capture card. That's the word I'm looking for. I still have the old channel.
Is he asking white or black helmets?
The red team will have red helmets. The gold team will have gold helmets. I think that's what he was getting at. So, yeah. Oh, let's see. All right.
Alrighty.
Well, if nobody has any more thoughts or questions, we can probably end this. And then I'll try and get the feed going. So you guys can get what I have for the All-Star uniforms. And I'll just show an All-Star uniform test. So guys know what I'm looking at right now. It's to me, like I said, cool. Yeah, and then we can, we can take everybody's opinions of what they think we should and shouldn't do.
Yep.
I'm good with that.
It's like a plan.
Yeah. So, yeah, then I think I'm going to end this speed, and I'll get the other one going, like I said. Hopefully, you guys will subscribe, because eventually the IFL Zone channel itself is going to be weeded out altogether. That's the plan. But hopefully you're subscribed to both channels at the moment, the Internet Football League and the @IFL Zone, because I'm not sure exactly which one I'm going to use. I'm trying to use this one. I just got to get it installed here real quick on the capture card. Just got to log in and be on alert, because it'll come up, and we'll all get in there and we can have a discussion of what we think. Like I said, hopefully I can get this all going here in a minute.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I love my capture card. Every time I go into it, it makes my screen full screen every time, and that's not what I want. It gets so damn on my nerves when it does that. So I'm attempting to add the YouTube channel now, which would be cool. So, yeah, add another user. Yay for me. Uh-oh, I got an alert from somewhere. It would also help if I spelled something right.
I'll tell you turn 40 and you just lose your mind.
Yeah. I didn't realize how much of an impact it would have on me. I'm officially senile. I don't know what my problem is. I literally feel like I've lost it all today. It's crazy.
Yeah? You think?
Well, I'll let everybody know here in a second if it's going to go through. Okay. I believe I have it all loaded up and ready to go. So once we end this one, I will turn this on, and then guys can see what I was talking about as far as uniforms.
Sweet. So, yeah, I think we can go ahead and end this. I think everybody knows what our plans are now. I think everybody's on board. Like I said, everybody's on board trying to make this league better.
Yes, sir.
So it's just a matter of figuring out how.
Yep.
That's what it all comes down to.
All right. Yeah, when I end the feed, just stay on here for a minute, because I got a couple things I'm going to run by you there, Ed. So, all right, gentlemen, I'm going to end this feed And then once this feed ends and clears, I'll get the next one running so you guys can get a quick look at these uniforms that I've put together. And then send me messages, post it on the Slack, wherever you want to do it. Your thoughts, your opinions, what we should maybe do to edit it, change it. Because what I wanted was simple, and that's it. It didn't need to be extravagant or all whatever. And remember, the gold is Baltimore, New York, Boston, and Philadelphia. Arizona, Tokyo, Tampa Bay, and Carolina will be wearing the red. These teams are going to be having all legends on the team for now. So it's all for a uniform look. So, all right, Ed, appreciate you getting on here with me. Remember, guys, All-Star game 2 weeks after the Victory Bowl, which will be in Philadelphia this season. So remember, whoever loses the Victory Bowl this year will host the All-Star game, and whoever wins the Victory Bowl will host next year's Victory Bowl championship. All right, gentlemen. Again, I'm ending this now. Pay attention because the new feed will come up here in just momentarily. So thanks to everybody tuned in. Ed, thanks, and we will speak.
Yep.
Catch y'all's asses down the road. Later.